So Revive, like Jove, like any of the other cosmetic products that we've done, we wanted to be part of the solution. There is a big problem. We've talked about it. And so much of the industry has been part of the problem, and government has been part of the problem as well. They are not blameless. Regulation lags so far behind, especially in this country. And any of you who've heard either Deanna Latson or myself talk about this, or others on our team talk about this, realize that this is something that is just very, very frustrating in the industry. And those of us who want to do it right, it is a very, very frustrating and very confusing thing why government has not stepped in. And I've personally been back to Washington to lobby for tougher cosmetic reform, and nobody is really against it. It's just that it's just not an issue that they care about. And it's really frustrating to see, because it affects all of it. It affects them, it affects their families, it affects so many people. And it is a health issue. Okay, so not to belabor that point, but again, there is a problem, and we want to be part of the solution. So that is why the clean commitment and the never ever list extends into the new Revive. And we, again, want clean personal care products. So the whole reason you use personal care products is to clean your body. So what's the point of cleansing away impurities from your body and introducing new ones at the same time? It just doesn't make sense. So we want products that are good to use, that are just great products all around, but are not introducing new impurities and toxins as you wash off everything else. So there is Revive in a nutshell. Well, that's not a whole lot different than where we were with the old Revive. Again, the philosophy behind the products did not change. So that's the one thing that did not change, and we just want to reiterate that the products were clean. They are clean. We've really gone to every effort to make sure that they are the safest on the market. Okay, so what did change with Revive? Well, here is really where the products got a bit of a facelift. Now, physically, you'll see that the packaging has changed. We've really tried to extend the look and feel into every aspect of these products. And really our intent when we reformulated these products was to make these salon quality or spa quality. Well, what does that mean? So it's funny, I was actually talking with a really good friend of mine, colleague, a couple days ago, and I was thinking about this webinar. And I was thinking about this whole spa quality, tagline that we've been using. And I asked her, I kind of started asking some probing questions, because I'm not a guy who spends a lot of time at spa. So I said, okay, educate me a little bit. Why does the typical woman, or man, we can all go, but why does the typical person go and spend a day at the spa? And she kind of answered different answers and kind of probed a little bit more. And she finally said something. She said, it's to treat ourselves. And I thought, okay, it's a little interesting. What is it, just a selfish thing? I don't think it's just a selfish thing, because, it's like, what are you treating yourself to? And she kind of made this comment. She said, life is hectic. Life is crazy. She used some stronger language than that. But she said, we face a lot of crap every day and a lot of pressure, and once in a while, it's just nice to escape and pamper yourself and just escape all of that and do something for yourself. And it's not really a selfish thing. And I kind of asked her about that. She said, no, it's just once in a while, you have to do something for yourself, for your own sanity, for your own well-being, to balance out your life. You've got to do something for yourself. And so that's why, said, that's why so many people enjoy going to the spa. They want to actually completely and totally focus on them for a change. And, wives and mothers and busy people and everybody, how rare is it really for us to take time, for a lot of us to take time pampering ourselves and thinking about ourselves? It's not all that common. So what we wanted to do is bring that feeling into the comfort of your own home with products like this. So that is why these products were formulated to have a really luxurious and rich and spa-like or salon-like quality to them. Why do you, again, I was asking this friend again, why would you spend 3 times more for a shampoo or a lotion or a fragrance or whatever at the spa than you would just, going out to the grocery store? And again, she said it's, it's pampering, and it's bringing that experience home with you to remember that treat for yourself. And so that's kind of what we did. And so everything from the fragrance of these, and we actually had some aromatherapy specialists work on these. And I've got to tell you, this was actually the fragrance behind the shampoo and the conditioner, like many things, was born out of a suggestion or a thought from Deanna Latson. And she called me one day, and we'd been looking at various prototypes of these products for a while, and we were actually going down another path with our fragrance. And she said, I just went to this, some new hairdresser in San Diego, and she said she used a shampoo on me that smelled good. I could still smell it when I got home. I had to turn around. I drove back and I asked her what this was. She was so in love with the scent of this thing. And so we actually kind of changed our direction of this and went after that. So again, used some aromatherapy specialists that we work with and said, okay, this is the feeling, this is the scent, this is how warm we want it. This is where there's a whole, like a color wheel, there's a whole fragrance wheel as well with different things. So we wanted something that was vibrant and refreshing, but also a little bit warm. And these are the types of terms you get to work on when you deal with things like this. And so we pinpointed what we wanted on this fragrance wheel, and came up with what I think is a very beautiful peppermint lemon scent to the shampoo and the conditioner. And it is something that I find both sort of wakes you up in the morning and is that vibrant and refreshing scent, but also very calming at the same time. It's very interesting. But that's, again, the approach that we took to try to get very spa quality. And when I mean spa quality, it's like something that you would go to the spa and buy there and bring that home to get that experience in your home. So everything, and that extends to the packaging, the look and the feel of the packaging, the colors used, all of that. We wanted this to look good on a shelf next to Jove. We wanted this to be something that you'd be proud to display. And so again, it's clean inside and out. I think it's beautiful inside and out. And again, the ingredients are just the best. Oh, again, we really did want to make this beautiful. Now, one of the things that we talked about early on was our concern that we were walking away a little bit from the organic message that the old Revive was kind of a cornerstone of that. And I'll tell you the reason why, because I've gotten a lot of questions about this. The old Revive was sort of known as Revive Organics. Well, that worked as we started out in the company and as we were working here in North America. But what you find is around the world, in so many of our markets, the term organic is interpreted differently. It's tested differently. There are different standards and different definitions of what organic is. And so it was something that was causing a lot of frustration, a lot of problems for reps around the world, because we were having to oversticker. We were having to find ways around that term because we didn't meet local regulations or local requirements for organic in many of our markets. And it's interesting that organic is something that has been well defined in some markets and is not defined at all in others. And it's just there's not a global standard. And so while we still use a number of organic ingredients in there, and that was something that was important in a few specific ingredients, it is not the cornerstone of the product, simply because we, like with the Jove system, we are more concerned with being clean and non-toxic than slapping on a label like natural or organic or hypoallergenic or anything like that really has no legal definition in most markets. So if you are concerned about that, if you have seen the new packaging and have noticed that term seems missing, That is wise, because it was very, very difficult from a regulatory standpoint to get to meet different definitions, and sometimes conflicting definitions and regulations for organics. So again, clean, non-toxic, um, that's our commitment with these. So let's look at a couple things specifically. Get these slides working again. Again, really, we tried to be as thoughtful as possible in designing these products to really just be a treat for you, for your skin, your hair every day, and just to be your escape, your moment to to get away from the world, and just be in your own little space. So shampoo. Let's talk about shampoo. Again, very, very rich, silky texture. This has a very pearlescent sheen to it. It's a very, very nice product. And the reason it's really nice, which is fairly uncommon, is that it's low foaming. It's not a non-foaming. There are some non-foaming shampoos out there, and those are typically difficult to work with for consumers. But this struck a really good balance. It is low foaming, so there's just enough foam in there to be able to work through your hair really well. And we use some great natural sugar-based ingredients rather than the sulfates that are commonly used in the industry. And these are some of the most damaging ingredients out there, which is interesting. They're used in so many products. Because they work well, they foam really, really well. And so your typical shampoo, people think that more foam equals more cleaning. Well, what it means is more foam equals more stripping. And so those sulfates tend to strip the hair. If your hair is color treated, it's the worst thing you can put on there. And also, if you tend to lose oil from your hair when you wash it, and a lot of people wash their hair too often, and with these high foaming shampoos, and then they find that their hair is dry and brittle. And that's why is these sulfates are so good at stripping oil and dirt away, and they also strip color away and in the process. And so high foaming does not equal good cleaning or good shampoo. Yes, it cleans, it strips everything away, but that's the problem, is that you don't want those precious oils stripped from your hair. You don't want the color stripped from your hair if you spend all the money putting it in. And so this has been tested, color safe. We will put up the color safe testing certificates on the website. I don't think they're up yet, but this has been tested. And again, this is built around some really, really good sugar-based ingredients, natural ingredients, sulfate alternatives for low foaming. So I really have found that everybody who's tested it really loves this. Because of that, it does not strip the hair, but it also rinses out very clean. There's no buildup from this. So I think we struck the perfect balance, or at least we tried to strike the perfect balance with this shampoo, and just make it just really good. Again, it's lemon peppermint scented with essential oils, and meets the never ever list. No sulfates, phthalates, parabens, anything else. So really, really proud of this new shampoo. Really, really love this. It's a nice, like I said, a nice and thick, really silky texture, really rich, and I think you're going to love this. Conditioner was one that our old conditioner a lot of people loved, and I don't think this needed a lot of change. And so we tried to stay fairly close to the old Revive on this one. Again, it is very thick. And because it's thick, one of the things we sort of missed on the previous Revive was the fact that this was just about impossible to get out of the bottle. And so this conditioner now does actually come with a pump. And if you want, we also are going to be selling the pumps on their own to fit the shampoo or the body wash bottles, because we had a lot of people who were sort of split on that. A lot of people who don't like them, and a lot of people who do. So we are offering just a very cheap, I think it's $1 or so, pump that you can buy separately to put in those other products. But the conditioner is built with a pump. And we know that's because it was purposely very thick and very creamy. And we want that just because some of the moisturizers that are in that conditioner really necessitate a thick, rich, creamy formula. And so we definitely wanted to keep those moisturizers in there. We didn't want to cut those down. We didn't want to cut the level down to thin this out to make it, pourable. So we really wanted something that that is still very good, really good against UV damage. It helps protect the hair. Again, it helps color treated hair against that UV fading. Really, really good on again, just controlling the hair and on just making it manageable, making it making the comb through so much better, and rinsing away with it without any of that buildup that sometimes you get with conditioner. Now, some of you may notice I'm kind of struggling a little bit with some of the terms on hair care, and there's a reason. That's because I haven't done my own hair in 16 or 17 years, so sometimes I struggle finding the right terms when I describe good hair care. But this is, I think we kept the best of the old and added some things that I think make this even better. Again, it's very, very similar scented, so this and the shampoo work very well together in that sort of palette of scents. And we have those two together that are just really, really good. And again, the pump is there for convenience, and I think you'll appreciate that. Body wash. The old body wash, we had a few issues with, a few complaints about viscosity. I think we fixed that. Again, it's very, very silky. Again, kind of honey-like is the way I've heard it described by a lot of people. And this is just really, really built around a lot of good moisturizing ingredients. A lot of people follow up their shower with a body lotion to sort of lock that moisture in. And I've as we've surveyed people, we've had a few people say, you know what, I used to use a body lotion to really keep that moisture in after my shower, and I find I'm not having to do that, or not having to do that as much. So again, really, really good rinse off, no residue, no film on this one, but it's got some really good, not only moisturizers and emollients to really get that moisture into your skin, but some things that help lock that moisture in as well. So I think you'll find that is, again, a very good experience. Really, really conditioning for the skin. We've got a lot of really good skin conditioners in there. You'll notice quite a few botanical ingredients. That's the reason that they're in there. The scent on this one's a little bit different. This is actually kind of we call it a Tuscan orange scent. Really nice and mild and warm orange and jasmine combination. Again, a lot of botanicals in there to help with that as well. And again, the essential oils, it's all natural fragrance on those, which is not the easiest thing to do, to get natural fragrance in your shampoo. But again, I think we've got really, really good, nice smelling, very aromatherapeutic products here to work with. So onto toothpaste. And not much I can really say about the toothpaste. Like I said, if you know our toothpaste and you know and love the current product, you're going to notice that this is virtually identical. Now, the only thing we did is we took a dioxide out that was really not serving any good purpose in there. And so, it was just to kind of keep the product a little more white, and we didn't really feel that was important. We don't think you're really looking for a bright white paste to put on your teeth, and so we felt it was not important and just something that didn't need to be there. We did very, very slightly tweak the flavor just to use some really nice, clean, natural flavors, some nice vanilla and cream flavors to go with the peppermint, just to round out that flavor a little bit. But it tested very, very well. Everybody seems to like it. And the thing is, it's very, very close to where it was. I just think we just tried to kind of play around a little bit. It's hard sometimes when we know we have the opportunity to change a product. It's hard not to play with it a little bit and just try to make it even just a little bit better. Well, So anybody who uses the toothpaste, and you know mass market toothpaste, you know retail toothpaste, the problem with the fluoride and the other ingredients, even I think it's Colgate and a couple others that still use triclosan in their toothpaste. So there's no excuse for that. It's an ingredient that's been banned in most types of cosmetics, and for some reason the loophole did not ban it in toothpaste. And so some of these companies still use it, and it's inexcusable. It's a known toxin. It's a known problem, and that's why it has been now banned in a number of other sectors in the cosmetic market. And like I said, they're kind of taking the lazy approach. They found a loophole here, and so they're not reformulating it out. But again, our product never has had these ingredients in it and never will. Again, we don't want toxic, we don't want poisonous toothpaste. I mean, if you look, again, you've heard us talk about this before. You look on the back of most retail toothpastes, fluoride toothpaste, and you'll see this warning that keep out of reach of children. If it's accidentally swallowed, call poison control. Well, that's going in your mouth. It's going in your children's mouths. Your loved ones are using this every day, and trust me, that does build up in your system. And so, why use it? There again are so many other ways to get good controlled fluoride treatments from your dentist if that's what you need. Most of us just don't need to be ingesting that every single day. It's just it's overkill, and it leads to accumulation of a problem ingredient. So again, never has been in there, never will be. That does not change. So,
Tom,
yes.
What is the function or purpose of that ingredient in other toothpaste?
The triclosan?
Yes, sir.
It's primarily used as a preservative, as an antibacterial. And again,
okay,
there's no need for it.
Okay, thank you.
Mostly the reason, it's a good question, Ronnie, but mostly the reason it's in there is just a safety factor. They just absolutely don't want their product. It's sitting on the shelf for a long time, and then it's being stored for quite a while. They've got a very long shelf life, and so they overbuild it, and they put in a very effective but slightly toxic preservatives to make sure it's not going to go bad. And that's just the approach of most formulators, is we're just going to make sure that this will never, ever, ever spoil. And so they overbuild the preservative system. So again, no fluoride, no questionable ingredients there, no artificial flavors, very natural flavor system with the peppermint oil and the natural vanilla. So again, the toothpaste that you know and love, pretty much. Got a little facelift like everything else, and just the one we love. So again, two approaches to the new Revive. If there's any takeaway, the one is that we've always had this approach to safety and good products, top quality. That has not changed with the upgrade. That's always been there. We did want to make sure that we align with the Never Ever list that we brought out with Jove, because that very, very clearly states our clean commitment. And that is really the focus that we had with the new products, is making sure that we were still meeting that same clean commitment. These are currently undergoing evaluation by EWG, so that we will get these added to our EWG verified list. And I'm hoping to actually hear back from them in the next week or two. They have had some questions they've come back with, and they of course are very, very, very thorough in their review of products submitted for EWG verified. And so they've come back for additional documentation that's been supplied. And so hopefully that's something that we can talk about very, very soon. I expect, and I know actually these will get really, really good scores, and these will become verified. But that's something we will do the same thing with our approach to Leaping Bunny, with PETA, all of the other certifications that you're now used to seeing for Jove. Those carry over into Revive as well. So you'll see the same message. Excuse me. Tried to be as consistent as possible from that standpoint, from the R&D standpoint, and the way these were built and the way these were formulated and the way we thought about these products. Because again, if anything, there's more risk when you're using these every single day on your entire body and head. And so we really want to be careful. We want to protect your whole family, our families, everybody. We want to make sure that all the products are safe and effective. So with that, again, just, oh, sorry. So two takeaways really is, and again, that clean commitment, that's one. And then the salon or spa quality is the other message as to why these products, as you're selling these products to people, and why they should use this rather than something off the shelf. This is really just an experience more than a product. We always talk about the why in things. And I think that was really kind of important for me to get from this friend of mine. Like I mentioned, we had a chat, and it was kind of eye-opening for me to understand the why of the salon or the spa quality, why people go for that pampering and why they want to bring that feeling home. And so, so they end up purchasing products at a spa or whatever. And that was kind of interesting for me, a kind of interesting perspective. And so that was, something that I think is an important why. So there's the safety and efficacy of these, but there's also the experience. We don't just want people sort of using something because it's sitting there in the shower. There should be a purpose to these products. So again, clean, gentle, safe, effective, and I guess that's about as sexy as you can make personal care. Again, we realize it's a commodity type item for a lot of people, but because it's a necessity for most people, we just figure that it's something that needs to be done and done correctly. So